Good morning, traders. It's been a tough market today. We're getting a little bit of the leak, but the bulls have been in control. And this morning, I just said, you know what? I'm clearing everything off the table. Took a little bit of a gain in the pre-market. Find out what stocks those are on, and then of course, what can I look into today? Right? Will Santa Claus come? Let's find out right here, live trading.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Those words have been dancing around my head all night. I mean, it's Vegas lore, that phrase.
Hey, Gerard, if you're watching this on your TV right now, what's up, man? Enjoy it. Feel better, dude. Hey, we'll hopefully give you some entertainment action today. We do some trading action, of course, and education, but we'll give you some entertainment to hang out and watch us on your smart TV. It's always good for smart TVs, right? Let's go ahead. Let's bring on my man, Ryan Faloona. We'll talk about some trading action. And of course, we'll have some digressing time. We'll talk a little bit about some sports maybe today. And of course, don't forget, you guys out there, let us know what's on your mind, right? What do you guys want to talk about? We can definitely get to the action. Let's go ahead. Let's take a look at what happened this morning for me. I'm going to take a look at what I did.
Can I jump in before you do that?
Yeah.
First of all,
you want to jump in?
Yeah, it's Gerald, not Gerard. But
I don't
Gerald,
know why I wanted to make him Gerard.
Gerald, we hope that you feel better.
I got the fits. What can I say, man?
You got
I got the fits, dude. What can I say, man? I hope you feel better out there. Get a little bit of maybe some soup a little bit later in the day, but enjoy
I got my
it, man.
tea.
There you go. A little pinkies up, like always, team. Let's get to the action. Let's see what we can come up with today, guys. I did take some profit this morning. I did a little bit of some swinging action, but really, I mean, yesterday was a tough day within itself. I lost like something high twos, almost threes. So it really just got me back a little bit this morning. And so with those swings, I said, you know what? Let's take some money off here and just reevaluate. Because sometimes you got to do that. I feel as a swing trader, as a day trader, you just got to take a pause to get your mind right, right? So right now we've been fighting, of course, the downside action. And it's kind of intense because really the overbought was really overbought on the Qs and we never really went down. Even though the RSI went from a peak there and I have a peak of 91 on the RSI and we're back down to 74.61 without really dropping. And that tells me something. That tells me that we could see some reloading in here. Even though we're getting that turn and we're getting that negative move in the RSI, price action hasn't really come down. And so with that being said, as it hangs up here for longer and longer, that just gives the bulls the ability to drive it higher if they so feel so, right? And I feel like what we're getting right now is a little bit of a battle between retail and institutions. So we were talking about this on pre-market prep, and shout out to my man Kansas Candy that jumps in the chat. You guys see him there, and he's been doing a lot of scalping, right, to the short side. I've been trying to do a lot of swing trades to the short side too. You guys seen me take some shorts on Microsoft yesterday, take some shorts on longs on the SQQQ and things like that. And I think that at this point, we need to just kind of maybe take it easy because we're giving up money to probably institutions. And I feel like retail's doing this consistently right now where we're expecting to turn around and the institutions are like, well, you know what? We're going to stuff it to you. You can expect that turnaround all you want. You can look at RSI all you want, but we're expecting to stay in these strong names till the end of the year. So window dressing comes into play, right? And I think that this is where we also need to be careful with penny stocks, especially in this next month, right? Because this is the time where they're going to be selling the losers, right? Selling and getting rid of those smaller cap names probably and staying in the winners. So right now, I would not be trying to fight the trend as much. And I feel like I tried to do it there for a couple of days and it just did not work. And so at this point, I need to see real action, show me that their downside's coming in here, and then maybe we can play it. But the truth is, even if we get the downside, I don't expect it being longer than, let's say, a week or two. because Q4, at least to the end of the year, in my eyes, is still looking bullish. And then it'll take a little bit of time to leak that out going into next year. So it's very hard to kind of keep coming after this trade, keep coming after it, keep coming after it. Doesn't mean we can't even see the trend change today, but it has been difficult. And that's kind of fighting the trend. And it's tough because the truth is that we can fight the trend and try to play the turn. But if we size up too big or too early, we're going to get stopped out tons of times and then probably miss the move that we were looking for. All right, but that's enough for my outlook there. I just wanted to bring in perspective of the last couple, let's say 2 weeks. So what do you see out there in the market, Ryan? We can get to some smaller names. Of course, you guys out there, let us know what you guys are watching. Maybe we can get some of these smaller names to keep moving. I'm just a little worried about some window dressing, but I'll kick it to Ryan.
Yeah, so I got a couple of thoughts on here. First of all, I disagree with Mitch. I'm absolutely still bearish. I think that you're going to start to see a down move here today, and we'll see where that down move ends. What I'd really like to do is actually break into this gap and fill this gap to the downside. That's going to take obviously more than one session. A couple of things to note here with regard to what Mitch is saying. First of all, you're absolutely right about people selling losers. We are entering the season of tax loss selling, Mitch. And you're going to have people offsetting whatever gains they have by selling some of their losers, taking a loss on it. You'll also see this in some of the stocks that are profitable, right? You probably will take some gains on some of those stocks. The one thing to keep in mind here is that for those people that are trying to avoid wash sale rule, that is tomorrow. Okay. So if you buy a security and you need to wait 30 days before you rebuy it again, the deadline for selling is tomorrow, the 29th. So I think that you're going to come in. I think there is going to be some tax loss selling here. I don't know that the market is really going to have a huge down red move into the new year. I think if there is any type of big, meaningful pullback, it's likely not going to happen until 2024. And it's likely going to be more spread out, not necessarily this capitulatory event. So when it comes to trading, I agree. Don't fight the trend. That's going to be the best piece of advice we can give. The trend is going to be different in some names. You know, there are going to be some small cap names that look pretty good, and there are going to be some small cap names that look really awful, like most of them. So I like I said, what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to figure out what is going to be hot in 2024, if anything, and try and position myself for that or start looking for entry points to those names. In the meantime, short duration trading, I'm basically trying to go with the momentum. So that's what I've got pretty much on the SPY. If we look here, you know, we almost, this is a shout out to 13. 13 might not be out there yet, but one of the things that he was saying last week is that we're setting up for a potential tri-star doji. And in fact, if you look at the SPY, it looks like a bearish tri-star doji. We got the first two dojis exactly the way we wanted to. This candle right here was a half day. This was Black Friday. The market wasn't even open for a full day. The next full day we got is exactly the bearish doji that we were looking for a tri-star doji. And now today we're lower here in the pre-market. Does this mean that the market's going to go down? I don't know. I thought the market's going to go down for a while, and it hasn't. And in fact, in some cases, it's actually ripped in my face. So just something to keep an eye out here on the SPY. I'm still in SQQQ, that position I've actually added to over the days here. This is the SQQs in my main account, not in the Trade the Pool account, because I have to hold it overnight. I don't want that to affect my buying power, so I just have that in my main account. I'm looking, it would be great if this moved here today. What I'd really like to see, I'd really like to sell this SQQQ up near 20, and I don't think we're going to get anywhere near there today or really even this week. So we'll see. Now, what Mitch said about some of the smaller names, absolutely. These are definitely what I'm going to be looking for, especially for short-term trading. Don't feel great about any of them, kind of feel middle of the road on some of them. Best one this morning looks to be like ICCM, to be quite honest. If it can break through this VWAP, maybe we can go up and challenge this 147, 150 area here. It's about 30 cents away, 25, 30 cents away. And that could actually make for a decent trade here. We did have a catalyst here. Ice Cure Systems successfully treated kidney cancer tumor with 92% disease-free survival rate and 100% secondary local control rate. So looks pretty good here. Data on one of their treatments looks pretty good. Stock's reacting positively to it. Let's see what happens when the market opens. The one thing that I'm noticing here is that we're really struggling to get above the VWAP here in the pre-market. So that better change in the regular session for this to be a successful trade. We'll see if we end up getting that. A couple more stocks here that are moving up. ESGL. This is ESGL Holdings. I'm actually not even familiar with this one. I don't think I looked at this one here this morning. Don't really see anything. Yesterday, they were awarded a multi-year contract renewal with a Singapore refining company. Okay, don't know about that. Looking at the chart here, this too also really needs to get above VWAP. To be honest with you, if it breaks through this 130 to the downside, I'd wait for this to settle. I think we probably test the pennies again. I think we probably test the dollar here. So we'll see here on ECGL. The volume should tell the story when the market opens here. Like I said, I don't feel great about this one, at least not yet. Next one here is going to be RNA. And this one, I'll be interested to see how the market actually responds to this one when it opens. RNA did have some news here. You can see the stock was just about $6 yesterday. We popped over $9, about $9.20 here. We did have some news here. Avidity Biosciences announces expansion of cardiovascular collaboration with Bristol Myers Squibb for up to 5 targets utilizing Avidity's proprietary AOC platform technology. And if you dig through that PR, like our news desk has done here, Avidity Biosciences partners with Bristol Myers Squibb in a $2.3 billion deal for cardiovascular RNA therapeutics. They secure $100 million up front. So I think this is really important for small cap stocks because with interest rates high, it's hard for some of these smaller cap stocks that don't have loads of cash on the balance sheet to actually get financing or get more cash. So in this case, they don't actually need to take a loan. They're just partnering with Bristol Myers Squibb and getting $100 million up front. Seems good to me. Don't have the specifics of that. Haven't really gone through there. Haven't really asked my network that's really good with biotechs on how great this actually is. Now, if we flip that over and we look at the chart here, we did get a pop. We actually got 2 legs up, right? We got this initial pop and pullback, and then we got a second leg up. That took us to about 920. We've bled back a lot of those gains here. We're actually beneath the VWAP. So it's do or die time for this stock. Is it going to continue to move up? Is it going to continue this bullish pop? Or do we bleed back all of these gains? Do we come back in here? Well, this is the type of thing that if I felt more confident in the overall environment, I'd probably take a more aggressive stab at this. But given how the trading's been, given how the market has been, and given how a lot of these moves to the upside don't really continue for a long period of time, I'm kind of waiting this out. I want to see what happens. I want to see what the volume flow is when the market opens. I want to see how it trades. I want to see what levels it goes through. I have no problem trying to wait out a better setup and pass on some of the shakier setups, especially early on and especially right now. It might mean I miss a couple of things, but I'm okay with that because what it also means is I'm not going to take a huge loss and ruin my Christmas season or my Victory Tuesday. We'll get to that a little bit later. SMX, another stock here on the list. This did pop as high as 2, didn't quite get there. I think it topped at 199 and came back in. They announced planned launch of the world's first plastic cycle token. I'll be honest with you. I have no idea what that means. I don't know. So if someone can fill me in on that, that'd be great. What you can see here is that this stock has really bled back most of its gains here. Looks like it's trying to go lower. We'll see if it catches a different tune when the market opens. I'm skeptical. I think that this probably just kind of settles out and is kind of a disappointment in the regular session. We'll see if that holds true. Bitfarms, this is up on Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin is still up here this morning. Some of those Bitcoin names are going to be trading up as well. If we take a look at Mara, that is same deal as BITF, and I would imagine Riot is in here as well. Let's take a look. Yep, Riot chart looks very, very similar to Mara. So we'll see where we end up going with some of those Bitcoin names. Affirm doing a really good job holding its gains from yesterday. You can see it popped in the morning, came back in, traded up to about the same area and came back. I'll say this actually might be a potential short-term short if this can't get above this area here, just kind of based on a chart play. But remember, we did get really good data about buy now, pay later as recently as yesterday. And I would imagine that we're going to continue to see headlines for Cyber Monday rollout here today. So this might be a little early, might be a little bit more dangerous of a short. I would say if you do play it that way, make sure you have protection to the opposite side. Okay, that's enough of me rambling. I know Mitch is off getting his OJ, so he can go pinky up with the group here. We'll go ahead and take a look at any of the other stocks that you folks want to take a look at. I noticed there are a couple of stocks moving here. HNRA, looks like this was moving here, not on the list. What I like here about HNRA, at least from a technical perspective, is we're doing a really good job staying above the VWAP the entire pre-market. That's going to be good going into the regular session. That tells me that if we break through the VWAP to the downside, we might need more information here. It's really done a good job so far. Let's see what happens when the volume pours in there. Did we have any type of PR here? Yes, we had in the 815. Okay, in the 815 window, HNR Acquisition Corp gives a business update. Acquired entity reports $20.3 million in revenue and solid earnings for the 9 months ended September 30th. Okay, so it looks like we're getting pretty good PR there. That's driving HNRA. Actually not familiar with this. Again, I'd ask the group here, if any of you have information on this, please feed it out there. Kansas saying HNRA, $20 million in revenue. Kansas pretty much just repeating some of the stuff that I did for the for some of the stocks that we were just going over here. So awesome. Yep. Can't read the chat and the screen at the same time, my man. Can't read two different things at the same time. I try to go back and forth, but we got it. Thanks for the shout out. Still watching the VIX and the new China pneumonia incident happening. Yep. Well, we'll keep an eye on that. Be back around 10:15. Okay, sweet. So we'll have you back here soon. Elon saying, not sure if there's any negative news today to push the market down. We'll see what happens when the market actually opens here. We'll see what the news flow actually is. Just looking at the SPY here, it looks like we are trying to bounce. Let's see if we trade back up here. HNRA, ICCM going to be the top watches right here out of the open. 30 seconds until the market opens. Oh, back at watching Watt. The stories of trading Watt. Man, I used to trade this when this was double digits, 11, 12, 13. This was a popular trader stock. Haven't messed with this in a long time. Interesting to see it down here in this $2 handle. We'll see if this trades back up towards that 200-day. This is actually an exponential moving average. We'll see if we get above that 231. Let's see. VIX still in a 12. We'll see if that ends up trading up or if that just continues to get crushed. I got to think that every time we go to the 12s, VIX likes to move up. So we'll see. We'll see where it goes here. Mitch missing the opening print. Let's see what we got here. Let's go back to HNRA. First move was down to the VWAP, but that was actually a good stop there at the VWAP. Actually would have been a fairly decent entry right there. Let's see if it actually pops through 3 here. HNRA. Around everything else that's opening here. Don't see a ton of strength out there. Let me know what you folks are taking a look at. Imbalance to the sell side, 100 million to the sell side. Thanks, EKS. HNRA, this might be trying to go higher here. This might be trying. There's a little bit of a yank. SQQQ, first move here is down to 16. Let's see if we break beneath that. And if we do, how far down do we go? HNRA is still getting jiggy here. This looks like this wants to go higher. There we go through the day high. Some new daily highs here. 313. Got the pre-market high on HNRA at 335. That would be my first target here if we can get above. Looks like a little bit of size there at 315. Here we go. Bang. Right to that pre-market high. So that moved exactly to where we were hoping. Actually, it looks like we stopped right there. Did we take it by a penny? Yeah, it took it by a penny or two. See if we keep going here, if we pull back and set up. HNRA, nice little move there out of the gate. How's ICCM doing? HNRA stopping at that pre-market high. ICCM flirting with its VWAP here, 123. Let's see if it can get above and move. What's RNA doing? RNA trying to get back to the VWAP. VWAP reclaim on RNA here would be really great. RDHL. Who was trading this yesterday? I feel like several of you were on RDHL yesterday. This making another move here. It's doing a good job holding its gains from yesterday as well. Going higher here. RDHL. Check out on PDD here in a little bit. Whoa. Okay, ICCM going above its VWAP here. HNRA, this might be trying to go higher here too. HNRA. With ICCM, I've got size here at 125. That's going to be the first spot to really get over. Let's see if we can get above 125 on ICCM. That's what we've been waiting for here. Tesla, nice little move up here this morning. Apple moving back towards the highs.
All right, let's see what we get today. All right, guys, I do want to bring you guys, of course, the hot stocks brought to you by, of course, Trade to Pool.
Awesome.
Stocks on the radar today are going to be, of course, none other than Affirm, Mara, and NVIDIA. As you guys can see, resistance and support there. And like always, guys, do your own levels, but they try to help us out with this. So definitely smash the like. We'll see what's in play. These are the stocks that are on the radar today. And of course, there's others. But if you guys see anything moving, let us know. And wouldn't you know it, the Qs are going back up again and again. They go.
MNY. Who's MNY? Market Sniper. Good shout there. MNY didn't even have this one. Looked at it well. It was already halted. Big move here, MNY.
I even got out of American Airlines this morning. It just doesn't seem like anything really wants to get going, at least in those trades. So I just cut it. Qs looking like we're getting a little bit of a bounce. A nice little strong move out the gates here. We'll see if that can continue. Keep your eyes on Microsoft. Microsoft, big push up there to almost 381s. NVIDIA is coming down here. Let's see if that goes red to green. That's something definitely to keep an eye out for. And then Tesla's event is coming soon, guys. So that's on Thursday. And I think that Tesla might actually get a little bit of a push here. It's on daily support, so it's a good stock to watch for today. I'm actually going to look for a pullback towards 237 and 236 to try to get some Tesla today. I think it gets a little bit of a pop going into the Cyber event and then Cybertruck, and then it's a buy the rumors, sell the news kind of thing.
So you'd be playing it for the move in there. HNRA moving more towards the highs here. 345 the high. Up, big pull here. HNRA, this is wild. I think, who was it? SS Trades? Who did? Yep, SS Trades. HNRA float only 3.3 million, so this is likely to move around quite a bit here. We're bouncing off that VWAP. Let's see on HNRA.
Looking for pullbacks in Tesla, not getting it right now. It's strong, so I'll look to see if I can get that. IWM down out the gates, just to kind of state that. TLT kind of just hanging in there right now. All right, Tesla staying strong for right now. We'll see how that continues.
Yes,
Will NVIDIA go red to green? It's starting to try to push above the VWAP. We'll see if it holds 482s. I'm looking for quick pullbacks on Tesla to get in, but that's, of course, on pullbacks. We'll see if it pulls back there below the 237 into the 236, somewhere there. I'd like to see a double bottom attempt where it comes right back to the bottom of the range. Then I buy it off the bottom of the range versus buying it on the top of the range right now.
TGTX.
Right, keep going. What else? TGDX. All right.
Yeah, we were one of the things that we noticed last week was that all the dips were getting bought. That is the same story this week. HNRA going to try at that 345 spot. I'm definitely, this thing's kind of shaky and all over. So really that entry at 3 looked to be real good. We'll see if there it goes. There goes the high print. 348 now on HNRA. Resistance area here on the hourly chart, or a little bit lower here. It actually took that resistance out. Daily chart has a decent gap. or a decent candle up to 590. So some more room for this to run here, although it feels like it's getting a little heavy here.
Looking around, guys, don't have anything on right now. Q's pulling back a little bit here. We'll see if we can get some opportunities. Still looking for Tesla to pull back. No pullback yet.
Comes another pullback on HNRA. Let's see if we hold the VWAP this time. 313. I got in trade the pool here.
If I look at what's green out the open, defensive, technologies, and utilities. We'll see if defensives keeps leading on the day. But what's down? Energy is down. So we'll see what happens on that one. And definitely, man, the XLE got me frustrated a little bit. Sold it, took the gains off. But today, who knows? Maybe it comes right back down. It's just a lot of mixed noise. And we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow on Thursday's OPEC Plus meeting.
HKD being mentioned. Smoked tuna, HKD, this thing. We talked about this yesterday, being a potential trade. Also got some action on Friday. Today looks like it's trying to gear up here again. 6 not out of the question here, HKD. This one, too risky for my blood. Yeah, and don't forget, we learned about this yesterday. Even Nick brought this to us. Today is Travel Tuesday. So for all of you looking to book flights and stuff, this might be your day. And this, again, prior to this season, prior to Becca, I think it was last week around Black Friday, I had no idea this was even a thing. So shout out to our group, keeping us current.
Yeah, I thought the airline stocks would move yesterday with all that TSA mentioned, but look at the action in AAL today. I know it's Travel Tuesday, but it doesn't seem like the travel stocks got that memo. American Airlines coming down here out the gates, and I got rid of it. I tried to hang on for so long. I took the small little gain there, but yesterday should have been that day where I felt like it should have really kind of got out there to the 1270s. Why?
Right, let's take a look.
We had good numbers from TSA, insane numbers, and it can't even get a green day on a day like that. That to me shows something. Areas where we could maybe look to see if we get some strength today. Crocs had an upgrade. That's continued. Nike, I've talked about Nike since 100. Nike's at 108. This could continue to run today. And then DEC has been the strongest stock in footwear and accessories. Those stocks could have a nice day. We'll see what happens there.
So interesting
coming down.
Interesting. I'm looking at just from this Travel Tuesday. I just decided to kind of do an experiment here. I looked at the normal flight that I take from Chicago to Detroit. I used to be able to get this flight for about $210. After the pilots renegotiation of their contract and their benefits and all that, the flight went up to about $340. A couple of weeks ago, someone said prices were really, really low. I looked at it again. It was about 180 today. So far on Travel Tuesday, 211. Now, this is Expedia, so there might be a specific app that is going to have more of the deals. That would be something to check out. Nothing, at least on this particular flight here, nothing really stands out in terms of deals.
Was not able to get filled there on that pullback to 237s. It was really quick there on Tesla. It's already bouncing. So I'm just taking a look at it to see if we can get a little bit further pullback here, and then I can start getting fills. But that wick might have been my opportunity, and I might have missed it there, team. Didn't have the order sitting there, so I had an alert at 237.20s, but it would took like less than a second to get a bounce right back up.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
There definitely are some deals. Nonstop flight to Phoenix around the same time I went last year, $128 on American. Yeah, this is definitely something to look into later. Definitely something to look into some of those deals. Something's going on. HNRA doing a really good job holding right at the VWAP here. See if it can push off or if it breaks through this VWAP. If it loses 312, which is currently where it's at right now, I'd be worried about it in the near term.
Yeah, I don't think Benzinga will be too happy, but we might have
there you go.
we might have overpaid for my flight next week.
Mitch, I don't know what to say about that, Mitch.
Hey, the prices are lower now, man.
HNRA trying to go. You know what? I mean, I kind of want to just try this, but I feel like this is just going to come back in and break down.
Still no fill there for Tesla for me. I'm looking for pullbacks, but Qs are coming down pretty fast to test the lows there. We'll see if it goes a little bit lower there. Come on. Pull back, Timmy. Qs are pulling back here. I should get a little bit more pullback in Tesla here. I'm looking for a little bit pullback fill here. There it comes down. The Qs are coming down fast, so I'm going to actually lower to get this buy on the big pullback. But the Qs are coming down fast. Will today be the day that it comes back down? Who knows, man?
We've seen, you know what, Mitch? We've seen a lot of teasing back and forth, and they think it's too early.
You know, sometimes I have a tendency of taking the trade just like Kansas out there, trying it. And the day that I don't try it, it goes. So, hey.
Big brain idea here from we're going to call you Big Brain Becca from now on. Mitch, just rebook that flight with the discount and get the flight credit for yourself. Take your wife somewhere.
I'll tell our HR department. Don't worry. They can handle that today.
Maybe wait, you didn't book it yourself?
No. I mean.
Oh, okay. Damn, dude.
No, that's not necessarily something I do there. But hey, we'll see if we can get some money back, right? Like always. All right. Yeah. Seeing this pullback here.
I'm trying some HNRA here. I'm trying some HNRA here in the prop. 500 shares. I'm going to be quick if this really kind of just moves down. I just want to see if we can get this rolling up here.
Got the starter there in Tesla, but only 5 shares on right now. Want to add, but I need to see the Qs get back above VWAP here. Not bad. I just added a little bit there. Saw the Qs starting to work its way back to VWAP. Still looking to get some pullback towards the low of the day, but starting to add in Tesla.
And there's your breakdown.
That goes sometimes,
it's comical. It's comical at this point. It's just straight comedy.
Becca says, "Who cares then?"
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you had someone else book it for you, what do you care?
You know, I'm a minimal kind of guy. I'm not trying to, you know, make people pay a little extra, right? I'm always trying to get the best deals. But yeah, there's some cheap flights. I mean, there's always a lot of cheap flights. You just have to look for the deals, right? Like that's the key with flights is that prices change all the time. Now, there is something on Google Flights that's important. Some airlines have what's called guaranteed pricing, like Spirit Airlines, I know, has a deal with Google. They'll go ahead and reimburse you if the price goes lower. So they'll actually give you the money back in exchange, of course, if the price gets lower. So that's something to think about, right? But we'll see, right? Do those deals actually turn around those travel stocks? We'll find out, right? All right, seeing the Qs just balancing here. Now the Tesla's starting to make a move to the upside here. Let's see if we can go back to 237 here. I don't want to be too early on this. I want to keep adding, but I need to see the Qs really show some overall strength first. All right, Q starting to bounce here. How's NVIDIA doing? Is that a rocket yet? No, that's actually red, trying to bounce off of 480. So keeping it slow at first to make sure that we're having a great day. Best stock that I see from the big boys, Microsoft. Microsoft leading the day there, guys, up about 0.67. See if I get an opportunity to add here below my entry, going back to 236, just continuing to watch to see if the Qs are going to start working their way back here. Of course, I'm just watching Tesla. If you got anything else, Ryan, out there, let me know.
HNRA is what I'm still watching in the prop. Let me put it up here real quick. Oh, do I have to full screen it to get it
All
on?
you got to do is just take me down.
Gotcha. Okay, so we're moving here, right? This was it. We didn't really want it to break down past the VWAP. We held in. We got the wicks. We really didn't break down further. Now we're pushing. Let's see if we take out what I got, 349 there. I'd be looking to sell this maybe at 350. Little bit of size here at 340. We'll see if we get above it. Hyper into the day, 348. We'll see if we pop above it. Remember the last time that we broke that high of day, I think we only moved like 4 or 5 cents. So not sure we're going to get an actual big pop here. We'll see what happens if it ends up taking this out. We are up here, so it's not a huge, there we go. And through, all right. And then an immediate yank, and it's going to come all the way back down. So it wasn't quick enough, was too busy cheering and celebrating, and got no fill. See if this gets back up towards 350. 350, you're high there.
All right, just added a little bit more here in Tesla as I see the Qs finally above VWAP. That was one of my signs to see first. Now I'd like to see an attempt to the downside and then quick rip back up. Let this candle even go red, and then I'm going to look for the next candle to open up and then just go green back to the highs.
All right, limit order out to sell at 351. We'll see if it does that again. We'll see if it takes that high by 1 cent. Yep, filled my order. Okay, now is it going to come back in? Yes, came right back in. Came right back in. So there we go. We was a little too slow the first time, got it the second time. Let's see if it goes here from 350. HNRA, this kind of all over the place. One trade booked there. 160 bucks. Green on the screen, Mitch.
What?
Still struggling with that 350 level. BRB one.
All right, there's 2 seconds left here on this candle. Going to look for the next candle to test the lows and then come right back up. So even an undercut and then rally. That's what I'm looking for right now in the price action. So on this undercut, I can add, but I just got to be careful because the Qs could reject the VWAP here and test the lows again. All right, just added a little bit there on Tesla. I'm going very slow, only 5 shares at a time. Only got 20 shares right now. Looking to take a nice little sizing into this, but also trying to be aware that I could get some quick pullbacks here. So now I need to start taking a look at also my hourly levels, right? Like where are we supposed to hold here? Definitely supposed to hold at least on the hourly levels closer towards the support here. I don't want to see around that 235.24 broken. Need to see it get back through that 238 later today. All right, so going to the quick 1 minute here. It's back down to 236. I'm going to take a little bit here. I'm just keep adding as I start coming back down here and looking for the reversal here. But we'll see if the Qs do a takedown today.
Okay, back.
Here's another swig. Another move lower here. I'm trying to add to Tesla and bring my average back down here. Eventually, I want my average to get towards like this 236 here. I have about like 30 right now. So just slowly trying to size in here. But I definitely need to start seeing it hold the 1 hour support.
Real quick, SS Trade saying HNRA going for 4. If it does that, maybe we'll be able to play that second leg there. I just wanted to get green on the screen early on, SS. Especially after I bought it and it immediately sold off as per usual. So I wanted to get that green booked so I'm not playing from behind. Maybe I'm still in the mode for yesterday's football game where offense was hard to come by. So I'm just accustomed to playing defense. I don't know. But at least, again, at least we started with some green. At least we started with some green. You just have to laugh about it, man. There's nothing else I can
Defense.
do. There's nothing else you can do. You gotta laugh.
I need to
about
get
it.
a sound. I need to get a sound button for that, like the classic basketball defense chant. Need to get that up.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad soundboard thing to
You
put
like
on
that
there.
one, Ryan? You
Yeah, I
like that
do
one?
like that actually. I'm a big fan of defense. I don't
Defense.
like changing the rules so it's just for offensive players. I like defense.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm big on defense too, man. In
one
any
of the things,
sport, right?
yeah, same. Like baseball, any sport, any sport. One of the reasons I believe that the NBA is unwatchable is because they don't play any defense anymore.
Yeah, you can't be rough. You can't.
Nope.
You can't put your
Can't
elbow
do
on a
anything.
player. You can't do nothing.
Can't do anything. Okay, real quickly here, HNRA. What I'd really like to see here is one of those yanks back towards the VWAP. We get there, we could try reloading and try for that move to 4 that SS Trades is looking for. Jay Rice mentioning Zscaler, which reported earnings yesterday. So really sold off, doing a really good job bouncing. You can see here on the hourly chart, we've retraced maybe 50% of that down move there. Jay Rice saying impressive, about $10 higher from last night's low. Jay, let me ask you, first of all, are you trading this and that's why you're looking at it? Or does this tell you something? Does this make you look to other cybersecurity names? The fact that the earnings dip is getting bought, what does that tell you for other trades going forward? Yeah, it's like I said, I mean, it's just the amount of frustration that team gives me. It's never been this hard. I'll say this, folks, it's never been this hard to root for the Chicago Bears than it is right now. It is like an exercise in futility, and it's frustrating. But it's okay. It's a Victory Tuesday. We're not going to talk about that. I'm already looking ahead to Oak Island tonight. So let's not even worry about that. What are they going to find tonight? Not letting it ruin my day, guys.
That's how it goes, man. That's how it goes. It ain't easy.
SQQQ here looking like this might take another leg here. I wouldn't be shocked if this 453.5 on the SPY breaks. Let me take a look at the Qs here and get some numbers for the Qs.
There's the Qs. They bunched up there around the 388.25s and now taking that leg lower. Now let's see if this is a wick and it comes back. If not, it could start really letting go here. We'll find out.
388. Really, if we lose 388 and change here, I got 388.76 as the low print in the pre-market on the Qs. We'll see if we go lower here.
I've been adding, guys. I'm taking a shot, guys. I might take a big hit in Tesla today, but I'm gonna give it a chance. We'll see what happens. I'm now down towards 235.96, so only down like a little bit over a point here. Of course, if Tesla comes back to 239s, I'll be looking really good. Let's see what happens here. I feel like that's a lot of volume that just came in. It's going to determine if we come back to the VWAP here, back through 389s. I'll be looking great. What's making me try to push is Microsoft's up almost a full %. So I'm thinking that maybe that can turn this market around. We'll find out. Nvidia's is getting flushed, guys. That's where it gets a little bit harder because that's hit down now about 5 points or something, down about 1% here, but it's been straight leak since pretty much, I would say, 937.
So real quick here, David, I'm going to get to your Bears comment here in a sec, but I did want to talk about Zscaler. Thank you for the switch there, Mitch. That was perfect. Jay, answer my question here. Bought a small amount last night. It seems to me lately the after-hour prices get overdone. We saw it with Crocs and TTD, Ryan. Both of them are up big from these lows, so thought Zscaler had a chance. This is awesome. This is the type of stuff. This is, to me, this is some of the really valuable insight. This is right up there with shouting out a ticker that has a very obvious setup that is yet to happen. What you're doing here is you're telling me what you looked at, how you actually applied what you looked at in the past, in the future, and we're getting an example of it today. The only follow-up question that I would have to this is, how do you refine this? Because there were a lot of names that got hit in the after hours. How do you refine that to say, you know what, this is overdone. This is a quality company. This is overdone. Maybe there's not a blanket answer for that. Maybe that's nuanced and you can't just kind of answer it with one sentence there. For me, with Zscaler, kind of looking at that, what makes this impressive in my eyes is that the cybersecurity hasn't really looked like a really great sector. And yet here we are seeing strong performance after that overdone move last night, Jay. So great that it's working here. Love that you're looking for different patterns and then applying your trading to it. That is awesome. I think we can all learn from that. Just looking for some more details on how you define which ones are the winners and which ones are just not so great. I know you've talked a lot about dips getting bought in the past. This a little bit different with such a short-term time horizon there.
All right, guys, we'll see if the Qs start working their way back, or will we get the takedown today? Going to look to see if Apple gets into the green. It's only down about 0.03%. I think that's one definitely to keep an eye out for. AMD down right now, so we'll see what happens there. SQQQ is above 16 there, finally back above 16, kind of holding in there. We'll see if we actually get some continued downside. Move to like 1650. Would show some nice conviction. All right, Tesla, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? All right,
Jay
guys.
saying Pan W did the same thing. Abercrombie and Fitch, another one. So it looks like what you're doing here. This is kind of like the idiot drop, right? You're looking for a stock that has gotten sold off when it probably shouldn't have. And then you're buying that dip and playing for the rebound. This is the idiot drop trade to a T. Really, the way that I used to do this, or when I first learned this, was I would wait for the open, right? I'd wait for the big overreaction, and then buy. I normally, when I started this, I did options. I don't feel great about that anymore. But in any case, this was a great trade. Earnings have to be good, though. Yeah, no doubt. Taking some RNA and ICCM. Let's take a look at some of these smaller names. Let's see what they've done here. Here's RNA. Boy, RNA is just nothing but a slow bleed here. What do you see? It must be this MACD, right? Smoke tuna. We've got the 3-minute. Histogram doesn't really appear like it's due. Maybe it's compressing a little bit, and these lines might be slowing down and starting to curl up. So maybe a move back towards the VWAP, about 64 cents away. I think that's what you're looking at. Correct me if I'm wrong there, Tuna. And then ICCM, that one we were looking at earlier, did that end up going? No, still struggling. So this is what worries me about ICCM. We're seeing the same story here in the regular session that we saw in the pre-market. Stock just has not had the strength to get above its VWAP and has really, really struggled. And in fact, even now, under the VWAP here, just hasn't given me the signal that this has got the strength to go. Could it? Sure, could bust through this VWAP. We get that volume expansion. I just haven't seen anything to tell me that that's going to happen yet. Looking at the level 2 here, we've got some size at 108 on the offer on the bid, and even more size at 105. So it looks like you do have some size below right where we're at now. But look out below if those fall. Low here, 104 ICCM.
All right, guys, just got back to break even and took some off there to give myself the ability to add that back on any pullback and lower my average. So I'm at 235.70 with 35 shares of Tesla. Still a decent amount, but want to add to this if it does come back towards the 234s. The Qs are trying to pop here, and that's why another reason why I took a little bit off there. If the Qs just keep going, then I can just keep my original shares, but it does give me opportunities to add on pullbacks, which is what I wanted here. So I'll show you guys that right now. As Tesla starts working its way back, and NVIDIA is falling. I see that out there, and that's definitely something definitely to keep an eye out for. That first support at 475.50s, we're coming back to it, right? I mean, where did it go to? It went to 476.50s. So maybe another $1 for support to come into play. We'll see what happens there on NVIDIA. How's Mara on the day? That's up to 12. Is that right? Wow, man. What happened there? We played this multiple times. Now Mara seems to be making that move. So I would definitely keep it on the radar. Riot also. So it looks like those stocks are actually waking up. I know Coin has been a good play as of recent, but that's all the way up there towards 122 now. I remember we were looking at Coin for a move above 85s. So, yep. I mean, that's been a 44% move. So definitely didn't play that one the best. I tried playing it multiple days. It's just very hard. One thing with coin I will tell you guys is that it can easily move like 6 points, 5, 6 points. So you have to give yourself that type of room, right? If I go and I get even, let's say 100 shares on coin, am I really going to be able to allow it to like go up and down $6? No, probably not, guys. So that's one thing to keep in mind. Sizing is so important if you understand the ATR, or the average true range.
Real quickly here, Gil, of course, is quoting Tom Petty, so we might as well bring that up here. NVIDIA free fall, and now NVIDIA did bounce here a little bit. Every time I see this, one of the things I want to look into is this the start? Are the Magnificent Seven starting to crack? Now I look at NVIDIA here. We do have this down move. That's great. It's trying to bounce here. I look at Apple. Apple's trying to bounce here. Maybe this is just kind of a slow, orderly move down, not necessarily a break. Given the fact that I'm long SQQQ, I'd love for NVIDIA to continue to free fall and pay homage to Tom Petty.
We'll see what happens with that. I mean, it's just been such chop in the SQQQ that it's just hard. But at least you haven't broken this kind of really on the daily. You haven't broken 1570s in like 4 or 5 days. That also gives opportunity for bigger positions. What you got?
HNRI big breakdown through 3 here. So far, it looks like I've sold the top. Didn't quite top ticket, but was pretty good in there. Again, we were talking here just some viewer price targets here at 4. It may even still go back to, we got a 3.3 million share float stock here. It's early. We'll see what happens here. But again, my big thing is just kind of watching everything, watching what's going on here. I want to pay myself on this move. And I got the move that I was looking for early. I got the move that I was looking for earlier. I took it. I'm okay with it. Now here we are breaking down. Might not be over, but at least I got my green out of that. Mitch, I'm going to go back to you here.
Yeah, no worries, guys. I'm stepping up to the plate here in Tesla. I've just been adding on the pullback right now, but I see the Qs make a quick move to the upside. I can't show you that chart right now because I don't want to take my eyes off of Tesla, but I can see that push towards 389, immediately gets turned around at 389.06, and now pulling back. I want to see it hold VWAP here at 388.54s, close above 389 on a 5-minute basis, and that will give me conviction in my Tesla play. Big thing to watch for, Apple staying green now. Apple made a big move on that. Microsoft on VWAP. We'll see if Google goes green. Amazon was red and now quickly coming back to green. They did put out their Black Friday sales and things like that. So be careful with a little bit of a bounce here.
Buzz saying 7 o'clock reversal. Are you in Arizona? Or California? Which time zone is it?
I like that one. 7 o'clock reversal.
Yeah,
that's so weird for Ryan and I that try to
exactly. That's why I'm calling it out. He's got to be somewhere west. I think it's California. I think Arizona's only 1 hour behind us now with daylight savings time, but not sure. San Diego. He's right. California. Let's go.
All right, looking great here on Tesla as it starts to bottom out. I'm looking for one more downside attempt to add towards it. That'd be a move below 235s, and then I will add on that pullback. But for right now, just letting the remainder kind of work here. 235.63.
One other thing to keep in mind here. Yesterday, this is actually a stat courtesy of 13. Yesterday was the lowest volume full day of the year. Okay, lowest volume full day of the year. These moves that we're seeing here in the Qs, in the overall market, likely because of just the illiquidity that's out there. Would not be surprised to see that continue through this week with the holiday last week. We'll see.
I think also one of the things to do with that is that a lot of people are sitting on gains. And that's actually a good thing, I think, to see for the bulls, that you're not seeing a lot of volume come in here. That means they're not taking gains.
Yeah, that means those are probably not the ones that are going to get sold before the end of the year here, doesn't it? Yeah. If you wanted that stock, if you wanted to hold that stock, you'd need to sell it by Wednesday so that you can rebuy it prior to the end of the year, or you simply hold it into the next year.
Yep. And like, let's say like American, I saw a bunch of volume coming in there, and I was like, well, what is that volume? Well, I got my answer. There's probably people just getting rid of it, man. So if you see a bunch of volume in the last, like, let's say week or so, that could be just people getting rid of that stock, especially if it's down big on the year over year outlook, right? Like, especially from the beginning of the year, take a look into that and see it if that's what's showing up there. Stock that was strong yesterday, Wayfair, is pulling back. We'll see if that comes back now, is above VWAP. Shop was one of those stocks also that was really hot yesterday. That's actually making an up move here. That's why I feel like Amazon could keep getting the lift here. We'll find out. Will XRT come back on the day? It is starting to come back. Stocks that are doing well in XRT, Urban getting a nice little lift. Of course, we've been seeing how certain clothing stocks have getting a nice little move. And there's Dick's Sporting Goods. I was watching for this move. This seems like a decent swing for me. I've already missed some of the action, so I need to get a little bit of a pullback. But man, I like Dick's Sporting Good, especially off of a swing trade outlook. Daily chart looking interesting here. I'll show you guys the daily. You can see the daily, how it came into this gap and held. That to me looks interesting for it to make a move back up. Doesn't look too bad at all. Did see some sporting goods sales, so maybe DKS can get that lift.
How does Dick's do seasonally with Christmas? I would imagine pretty well, right? I would imagine getting new sporting equipment from Dick's is probably a good Christmas gift. That would be something to look. I don't have that off the top of my head. That would be something to look into.
At least I know baseball wise, a lot of the times your baseball bats, your new baseball bats will either come out in the winter or in the spring. For certain brands, that's in the spring. But
same is true for golf clubs.
There's a reason why, Ryan. There's a reason why, right? We're
holidays, right?
We're understanding that at when do you try to do a little bit of splurge buying? Probably in your Christmas time, right? You're like, I'll splurge and get the golf clubs. I'll splurge and get my child the baseball bat that he's wanted for the spring. You know, things like that.
Especially if he starts just
Dick's
hitting.
doesn't sell guns and ammo anymore, do they?
I don't believe so. No, I think that's Bass Pro Shops.
I think they got out of that 13. I think actually people hit them for that. But
you know what though? This 13 though, 13's in Texas, and this might be This might be a regional thing. So there might Dick's might 13. Let me know. You're down there. I'm not. Let me know. Dick's might sell guns and ammo regionally for big hunting areas. Or areas that aren't metropolises like Chicago. Yeah, by the way, we got a comment here on Tesla. Michael Wellner saying, thank you for the call out on Tesla. I'm working and only get to check my phone once in a while. Should be a nice swing trade. Michael, glad that we can do that. If there's any feedback that you folks have really on anything, but especially for those of you that try to listen to the show whilst doing something else and are unable to communicate in the chat, we are all ears. If there's something that we can do to make this even more valuable, we want to hear this. I love reading this comment here, Michael. Glad it's working out for you.
Yeah, we're always trying to adjust for those traders also.
Okay, so it says that they do this. This must be a location thing. There must be certain locations that do and certain locations that don't.
I don't see it, at least on my Dick's Sporting Goods, but let me see.
Oh, you're saying that's airsoft. Okay, now I'm confused. Are you giving us misinformation or what are you doing here at 13?
Yeah, you're confusing me, man.
You're confusing the shit out of me, bro.
I'm trying to trade here, man. I'm just playing with you. It's how it goes, man. And looks like they're still having a 2-day cyber flash sale. It ends tomorrow. They're not done giving you the sales, man. Wouldn't you know it, guys? Outdoors.
I'll splurge and get my season tickets for the Padres.
Yeah, that's expensive, man. The Padres Stadium, that thing goes rocking, man. I haven't been to that, but I think it's at least it's one of the best. At least from everybody that I know that's been there, says it's one of the best places to watch a game. So I got to get out there. Let me know on those season tickets. I'm gonna come join you.
Born saying, to be honest, Ryan, that may be a Chicago thing, referencing the Dick's not selling guns and ammo. And you know what? You are probably exactly right, Born. That is probably exactly what it is.
I went on Dick's. I don't see guns available. I don't see guns available, guys. I'm going outdoors, maybe in hunting. So they have, looks like they have gun and shooting supplies. So I'm getting to it here. They might still have some hunting guns.
I would say that I would imagine that it's not. I want to say that it's not such a big percentage of their sales where it really matters, but maybe I'm wrong about that. I feel like
I
Bass
think
Pro Shops.
we gotten down to it, guys. Of course, we do a little facts check in here, and so firearms are available in store only and at select Dick's Sporting Goods.
There you go. So it is location, like we said, and they don't advertise it on the internet. You actually have to go in.
Yeah,
I don't really have a problem with that, to be honest with you.
You have to click the states. There's definitely not 50 states here. I'll tell you that much, guys. Look at the availability of states. You got like Alabama, and it only gets to like West Virginia, but that's not 50 of them, right? I mean,
nope. Illinois is still in there too. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like you can in
Carbondale. Okay, that's Southern Illinois.
select cities, right? So there you guys have it. We get down to the real facts here on live trading.
Nice job, Mitch.
Hey, try to do it, man. Try to do it, guys. All right, guys, I'm going to step up to the plate here and just keep adding slowly here some Tesla. Added 5 shares there as the Qs went back towards the trend line and bounced. That's the reason why I added a little bit more here. I'll show you guys it on the 5-minute here. I haven't had a real chance to show you guys this, so you guys can see this right now. And so I saw this pullback, and I said, all right, hold that pullback for me. Don't take out that 388 low, and let's go back to 389 here and start holding VWAP. That's what I'm looking for it to hold now. Let's go back to Tesla here. All right, let's see if we get some downside attempt here. I'm still holding in here, trying to get Tesla to get back above the VWAP. If the Qs can make a big move, that will help. Right now, it could come right back towards, let's say, 234.60s here. So that's why I'm trying to keep it simple here and not add it too quickly, just in case we get some wick and then the up move.
ICCM finally moving above and holding above the VWAP here. It's not making like a huge pop or anything. Smoke Tuna, you were on this a lot earlier. I think that you're probably still in this. I did see that you said you're out RNA. I think that's got to be a stop out, right? Because this didn't work. I don't know. Let me know. ICCM, this actually looks like this might still have something maybe a little bit later this afternoon. Maybe it'll be a slow grind, not so much of a pop. I don't know. How did RDHL do? That was halted earlier, wasn't it? Oh, yeah. So this is actually interesting. This is doing a really good job holding the halt level. Looks like it's tried to sell off, but all we've really got here is wicks to the downside. RDHL, this will be interesting to see if this moves higher here. Interesting. You're out of ICCM. You think that might be done. Okay. Born, aren't they Cannondales? Does Carbondale also make one? I thought they were Cannondales. RDHL maybe trying to go higher here. Let's see if it takes out this 231 area. I got some size here at 230 and then more size at 234 RDHL. They're working on that one at 230, I think. RDHL. Congrats on that, Carmen. Big winner for Carm. Need to offset some of those losses. That is the name of the game. That is the name of the game. Congrats to you this morning, though.
Hey, love to hear it. Love to see it. Love to hear it. All right, guys. Q's trying to make this run here. Let's see if we can actually get this to make that move. If I look at the Q's and what's doing well there, Pan W stands out to me. PDD, of course, had a really good earnings report. Datadog in there, CrowdStrike. What else? You got Adobe up today. PayPal. Man, PayPal continuing maybe from yesterday. Yeah, continuing that move there. All right, holding in here. Now I'm going to look to see if the Qs can really take off. How's Apple doing there? Yeah, continuing to push there. Just added one last ad there. I got 65 guys, 235.67. So just continuing the battle here with Tesla and trying to build up a big position here to make a nice win on the day. Of course, like always, guys, this is for informational purposes, not investment advice, and opinions do not represent those of Benzinga. Be careful out there, traders. Of course, I'm taking a little bit of a bigger trade here on Tesla. It's definitely more of a day trade size because it's big. If not, I would be closer towards 10 shares for the swing. But we'll see what happens here if we can get that push. RDHL halted again there. Yes,
Got it up here, halted to the upside. We were just talking about breaking those two levels that I just gave you. Went right through them here, halted 265 to the upside.
Yeah, it looks like some people played that urban also. Get it when you can, guys. See if Apple takes a new high here and Microsoft takes a new high. I told you guys that when it was at VWAP, it's starting to push off of it. Let's see if it can take the 382 and then start to see Google go green. That's what I'd like to see. Google is just slightly trying to make that move here. Overall, you're still down 0.18 on Goog. Let's see if it gets to the green, and we'll see if NVIDIA comes back. Meta's back into the green. I will say that. So I'm keeping an eye on this. Now starting to get at least a little bit away from me on the price action as Tesla's in the green. Let's see if it can keep pushing here. XLE pushed back to 85s. That could have been an opportunity to get back in that. But, man, I've been frustrated on the oil trade. Oil is probably one of the most frustrating trades there is out there, team.
Yeah, it is.
I can tell you guys.
I've done it.
Go ahead.
No.
So I've traded it multiple times up and down, and I can tell you guys I've had wins. And the key is there's always talk in oil. And that's the hardest part. You got to deal with so many different talking heads. You know how like we always get worried about the Fed talk? Well, it's kind of worse in oil talk. You get different countries to say things and different companies to say things, and things just turn around.
Yeah, you have that headline risk for a lot of that stuff. You know, we were talking about oil and natural gas a little bit yesterday during the happy hour. I look at them the same way. It's difficult for me to really get any type of conviction in either direction. It is a tough trade. It's not. I don't have a good feel for it, and I know how many oil has made people millionaires, so I know it works. It's just it's not my thing. I've not had a lot of luck with that. ICCM again through the VWAP here. Maybe this is starting to curl. Oh my God, Birkenstock is up $2 here today. Remember that IPO? That's actually not. That's actually
ICCM,
wow. This is a.
Sorry to interrupt there, but ICCM definitely has that pattern that I like, which is 3 attempts to break the VWAP and then give you a reversal candle. It just gave it to you on the 5-minute at 10:20. Low on that candle, 113. It looks interesting there to at least maybe get you the spike towards the 135s. We'll see what happens there. Does look interesting.
You think this might be going for an upside move, right? I was having trouble following you there.
Yeah. Okay. So the idea there is this kind of turning outlook that I kind of look for all the time on a 5-minute. So you can see how it wicked down here. That's that first attempt to break down, right? The second attempt to break down, it starts coming back here and it gives you that attempt to break down again. And so there's kind of like 3 attempts to break down below this 110. And then now it's starting to reverse. A movement back above 125 could push you towards that 135. So I'd be looking for this low to hold and then going off of that low, trading off of it. But of course, you guys choose your own levels. But I like when I see this right here, this reversal candle. How's Tup doing? The tuppity tup.
Not much.
How's Mara doing today? Is that continued? That's pulled back from the 12s. We'll see if that gets the next lift. Dun, dun, dun.
Looks fairly similar to the coin chart.
Yeah, very similar.
Coin printed 122 earlier today. 120,
Boom, boom.
124 almost. 123 and change. Wow. Coin looks like a breakout on the daily to me.
She's trying to make the move back through 389s. Below my entry, I'm going to be adding on this pullback, especially if the Qs stay the way they're doing right now, which is trying to break that 389.
Spy trying to go higher here. All right, we got a Jay Rice trivia question. All right, Ryan, you mentioned Burke. So what sneaker company is hitting 52-week highs today? Been very sneaky. Nobody seems to like it. Okay, so it's probably not ON. Is it Nike? That wouldn't be sneaky. I feel like Nike is not at new 52-week highs. What are some other does Converse and Reebok have tickers?
No, but there's another
No,
one.
I don't think so. What is it?
I don't want to say to give the answer. I feel like I know it, but
You know what the answer is?
They asked you, Ryan.
Is it Crocs? Is that what you guys are? Is that what you guys are thinking? No, it's not Crocs.
I don't think it's Crocs.
Sure. New Balance. I mean, New Balance would be. What's New Balance's ticker? Do they even have a ticker?
I don't think it's New Balance. But I could
Is
be
it
wrong.
Adidas? Skechers?
It
is Skechers.
Is
Yo,
it?
Cressy, yeah. Ticker SKX. Skechers. This was a good trivia question, Jay. I like this one. I like this one a lot. Did he say that? Oh no, he said it's very sneaky. If you had said been very sketchy there, that would have been money. But okay, SKX. This is a really good. So look at this chart. So Jay's right. This is sneaky, right? This put its last high in that it just eclipsed was, I believe, right here, July 31st. You put in a high of 56.53. This thing came all the way back in. At its lows was at 45.50, and here we are, new 52-week high. Good trivia question, Jay. I don't think I would have got that without Crassy's help, honestly. I really don't. Great job.
I'm actually looking into this, and I'm trying to verify before I bring it up, but I think this was included. Yeah, it was.
Ooh, ICCM breakout, guys. Good call, Tuna. Sorry for interrupting you, Mitch. Good call, Tuna.
Good.
ICCM.
You're good.
Boom, boom, boom.
Go ahead. We'll talk about this in a second.
That's it. I was done. I got it. Go.
All right. So Skechers actually had a short report out on July 19th in 22. And that was on Spruce Point Management. So I might have to hit them up and be like, you guys still short on these?
I mean, that's over a year ago, dude. That's like, so you'll appreciate this, Mitch. That's a year ago. I almost feel like that's a little bit late to go back to them and be like, hey, you know, what's going on with your short here? Let me tell you real quickly about something very similar to this yesterday. Anyone that follows baseball probably knows Incarcerated Bob on Twitter. He's very, very plugged into the baseball hot stove. And one of the things that he was saying yesterday is that there were a number of teams in on Dylan Cease, the pitcher for the Chicago White Sox. And he would be a great fit for the Chicago Cubs, who really need pitching help. And so I tweeted back at him and said, he was listing several teams there. And I tweeted him and I said, have you heard, are the Cubs in on him at all? And some smart ass comes up and responds and says, no, the Cubs they liked Quintana more. And of course, if you're not a Cubs fan, you might not understand. But what he's referencing is the trade in 2017 where the Cubs traded for Jose Quintana. They traded Dylan Cease away for a bunch of established players to try and make another run at the playoffs and then a World Series. And I was just like, dude, that was sick. I was thinking to myself, I was like, that was 6 years ago. Imagine living 6 years in the past and how awful that would be. So I just simply tweeted back at him, no, I'm talking about today, not 6 years ago.
That's sports fans for you, man.
That's sports fans for you, man. They don't. I mean, they'll remember shit. They will hold grudges.
Oh,
They will
it's
definitely
as,
hold some grudges.
it's as big as grudges get, man. All right, guys. So I'm almost fully sized in as my maximum trade here. So I'm taking my
ICCM's
shot.
going, by the way. Great
Great
call
look,
there,
right?
Tuna.
That wasn't a bad
Great
one.
call.
Also,
No,
and
yeah,
this is
yeah.
where I
That's right.
expect to
You
kind of
had it.
slow
Yeah,
down a
yeah.
little bit too. So this is where I would kind of see it slow down a little bit too, and maybe do a little bit of a throwback look towards the trend line there. So just take a look for it to maybe come back to the VWAP and give you an opportunity if you didn't catch the first move. And
VWAP
the
here
reason
120,
why,
by the way.
yeah, there's a resistance there from the pre-market, right around this 135 spot. That's where I was given. It could slow down a little bit. Let's see if it reloads at like 125 or 120, then goes to 150. That would be the cup and handle pattern. Right now, you just got the cup pattern. See if you get the handle. That's what I'd be
This
looking
is the
for.
biggest volume stick of the day right here. ICCM. This is what we look for. This was a monster. I'm actually disappointed I didn't play this. You guys were all over this. This is exactly what we're looking for. Nice little formation here. Breakout on expanding volume. There's your trade. There it is.
All right, guys, looking great here now in Tesla. And boy, am I going to take a swing, guys. So let's see if this can get back above. I need the Qs through 389, and then I'm going to step up even further. I'll add 10 more shares, and I'll be full size. 100 shares of Tesla. Let's just put it in perspective. That's like $22,000.
Let's halt and gap up $100.
Let's see what we can do right now.
Just like, yeah, let's do that.
I mean, I won't be mad at you, right? I won't be mad, guys. Let's find out, guys. It's going to be a tough trade here, but I've been trying to size in accordingly. Let's see if I'm going to become a king today.
Real quickly here, a couple of really interesting comments. E2 Computers, remember Bartlestein or something like that in the Cubs? That would be Bartman. Nobody that roots for the Cubs ever forgot that. What I will say is that thankfully now is for the most part just part of history, right? It's just the annals of history. Since then, the Cubs have completely turned over the roster, made the playoffs multiple times, and won the World Series, ending that 108-year drought. So the Bartman thing, as awful as that was when it took place, and as awful as it is for that gentleman and the rest of his life, that's pretty much just in the dustbin of history now. As a lifelong Cubs fan, it doesn't really bother me. Cubs did get their World Series. And then Frank saying, how come Cubs fans don't like the White Sox? It would be great for me to have two teams in my city. Frank, it's actually the other way around. I guess there's definitely a bit of a rivalry, but in my 39 years of being in this city, what I've noticed is that Sox fans care more about how poorly the Cubs are doing than they do their own team. Whereas Cubs fans care more about their own team, but will still kind of, razz or jive the Sox. So I actually think that's the other way around. But maybe that's just me being biased.
I think that Chicago's just spoiled, man. They can't even accept having two teams. They should be happy about it, but instead they just battle with each other. But that's just what I think.
Yeah, that's completely wrong. It's not even.
I mean, you guys get two
just,
MLB teams, dude.
Yeah, and there's two very great, passionate fan bases.
I don't know, man. I don't know about that one.
Come to Chicago and find out, Mitch.
Oh, I've been. I haven't been to the White Sox. I've been to Wrigley's, but.
And why is that, Mitch?
Because they both suck. But I had to go to the outdoor one.
Okay.
I had to check out the historic old building. Has rusty screws everywhere. But hey. That's how it is, man. At least I think that they haven't gone away from Wrigley because I think they could have.
You should go there now. You should go there now. It's actually one of the things I think that's really impressive is they built up all of the area outside of the stadium so that there's like actually fun family activities and stuff like that. It's really cool now. I'm someone that never goes to the city.
William, Roaring Kitty is back, man. GME, watch out, man.
I love Dennis's tweet this morning. Did you guys talk about Dennis's tweet about let me find it. It was about GME pretty much round tripping at AMC. GME was outperforming AMC because GME was only down 90-something% from its size.
Are you ready for this though?
I mean, Obviously, I'm not ready for that. Obviously, I was not ready for this.
Can't make this up, man. I can't. Look at that rip. I mean, that's a rip, man. That's a rip. AMC is gonna get some love off of this, man. Do I play it? Do I scalp it? Oh man, I feel like scalping it here. This seems like scalping game. Ryan, what do you think?
I mean, look, it's your funeral if you trade AMC.
All right, I have a funeral wish.
I'm gonna let you do that one. I'm gonna stay away from that.
I have a funeral wish. I just bought 1,000 shares of AMC.
Oh my god, let's go, Mitch.
Oh god, guys, I had to try it here for the scalp here, guys. So I set the stop right now just to kind of make sure that I don't get this crushed. But gonna look for a quick spike here towards like, let's do 680s. Let's just put it out already. Let's just set the trade, set it and forget it type. Let's just see if they just come buying in AMC off of that love for GME. I got to go back to Tesla to go manage this. And the big part is just the Qs are staying above the VWAP. So I don't mind like kind of battling in here, maybe even adding my last 10 shares. The Qs are not below the VWAP. I want to kind of stay in here on Tesla today. So it's got a battle here.
Be sure to give Dennis some crap tomorrow. Elon here is saying that Dennis manipulated GME.
I will. It was all Dennis's fault.
He would love that. Oh god, that is.
It was all Dennis's dick's fault. Yeah.
Oh man, that's funny. That's some funny stuff.
Don't worry, we'll get after him tomorrow, guys. We'll let him know. GME though, GME, ICCM. This is the slip. What's going on with that one?
I mean, you called it perfectly. Is what's going on with that, Mitch. Okay. You said right when it traded up into that area, you said this is the I'm trying to quote you from memory. This is the area I think where it slows down, or this is where it reverses here, and that is exactly what happened. Literally right at that spot, reversed, knife through the VWAP. Now it's holding here. It's not breaking down further. That's good to see, but monster call, because you had said literally we were right in here, and you were like, this is where I'd like it to stop.
Now I'd like for this 5-minute candle to close above 115. If you do that, you can make the cup and handle look if you go back to the highs, right? And so that's what it does a lot of the times. It's kind of like a reload opportunity here. We'll see if it reloads or not. Qs are hanging in there now. Getting a little bit concerned on Tesla here, as we definitely are getting some downside in Tesla, but it's holding the lows on the day. So that's what I want to see it here. If the Qs just ripped at 389, that's the move for Microsoft, Apple, and maybe Google to go higher. Look at Hendricks trying to take over. Hendricks, I know you want to take my spot on the show, but all right, guys, AMC's in the green there. We'll see if GME can keep popping. Can GME keep popping?
One thing to keep in mind here, HNRA. Let me. I'm just going to share my other screen here real quick, Mitch. I can go back to you here in a sec. One thing to keep in mind here in HNRA, we did a good job playing that first little move up right out of the VWAP. That was textbook. Now that we've kind of broken down, we're really kind of struggling to use the VWAP here, or excuse me, we're struggling and using the VWAP here as resistance. This is definitely one to keep on watch for later this afternoon, because if this hangs and doesn't really break down, and then all of a sudden we get this volume expansion that we saw earlier, you might have another run here on HNRA. And remember, this is a lower float stock, so possibility of this having a pretty outsized move, pretty good. It actually just moved through the VWAP there. Just something to keep your eye on. This might not be done. I have no position in it, but this might, keep it on your radar in case there's some afternoon shenanigans.
Tell you one thing, guys, I'm definitely getting hit hard here in Tesla as the recent downturn in the Qs reject the move towards the 389s. So we could be getting that red side move today. Of course, I've tried to play the SQQQs multiple times. We'll see if that comes in today. But definitely it's getting heavy towards the top. Normally we got wicks on the bottom. We got wicks on the top here. That's where it gets a little bit concerning, at least when I look at the Qs. But going to be a battle here. Can it recover 388.50s? That's what I'm looking at. A move back to 388 on the Qs, and boom, we go down.
Jay mentioning Shop. This is an interesting discussion. Shop. Strong stocks get bought on downgrades. Now green. That's actually something we've discussed a number of times in the happy hour as potential entry signals. If we take a look here at Shop, this actually looks like a pretty decent chart, right? We really kind of came off the bottom. Looks like we are breaking out of this sideways formation. If it's strong on volume, maybe we keep going here. Shopify. I don't. Next consolidation area I have in here is at 88, almost 90 bucks. This is a big interesting. Here's the thing about Shopify. I never really understood Shopify. And recently, some of the things that I've ordered have forced me to use the Shopify app for tracking. and it's not a big deal. It does a fairly decent job at tracking. I mean, it's no Amazon, but it does a fairly decent job.
I
but
think it's better than Amazon personally, but we won't get into that
okay,
right now.
well, I'll let you talk about that. I can't see why, but I'll let you explain. I at least want to hear your argument. Here's the thing, though, that's kind of sneaky about Shopify. Even though I ordered off of websites, these different products, like my Bettinardi Black Friday drop, which I got, by the way, it's tracked with Shop. Anytime I order something here, I build up Shop cash. And I didn't even realize this was happening. And the other day, not the other day, this was at this point, maybe a month, 2 months ago, I realized that I had like Shop cash, and I saw the Ridge keychain holder, the key case. I saw it on there, and I was like, I can use my Shop cash to get this. I'm going to do it. I've wanted that for a while. I didn't want to pay full price. I've got this bonus cash that I've never used before. And I bought it. I literally bought that product because I was pigeonholed into this app, and then the app gave me a discount. Now that I've ordered stuff for Black Friday, Cyber Monday, the same thing is happening. And it's starting to get me into using this app. And I don't necessarily know how they're going to make money off of me doing that. But as the consumer, it makes me feel, hey, I'm getting a deal on something. And I didn't really have to do anything extra. So really just kind of interesting way that it got me into the ecosystem. I don't know what it means, at least not yet. But just kind of an interesting way.
Big move on the Qs, guys. Big move on the Qs. I'm stepping up here, guys. I'm stepping up. Big move on the Qs there. Look how I'm just lowering my price right now and giving myself a shot for this big move. The Qs just popped. I don't know what the hell happened there, guys. But a nice little pop to 389.10s there. Let's see if this can really push through the 390 spot. That's the level I need to see to really show me, okay, yeah, this is a big pop, right? It was a quick move right to resistance in like less than a second. Let's make sure that it doesn't come back down below this kind of 388.50s, 388.60 area and really takes 389. But I'm taking a big shot here in Tesla, guys. Probably the biggest shot I've ever taken in Tesla, at least, you know, right here in front of you guys. Man. So the hands are getting clammy. That's how I know it's a big trade.
Okay.
Have you ever guys taken that? You guys leave in chat. Let me know. Have you guys ever gotten to the point where you're just like, yeah, this is getting big, and the hands start getting clammy, and you're just like, okay, yeah, the nerves are here. The nerves are here. The emotions here. Look at that. I try to
fight that. I try to fight that.
Look at that, man. What is going on here, Ryan? Look for news for me, man.
Yeah, I am.
Like this is news related.
I don't. Let me turn on the squawk here. I don't see anything.
Yeah, man. That looks pretty strong there for me. So. All right, guys, just in case I get a pullback, I just took 30 shares off. I'm willing to add those shares in the green, the same thing that I was doing earlier in the day. So kind of like taking some green off, giving myself the ability to add 30 shares back at the lows. So if it doesn't go down there, it's fine. It's not a big deal. But if I do get pullback below my entry now I can add versus just being stuck and waiting. But the Q's made a big push there. And I don't know what necessarily did it, but Microsoft near the highs. Apple made a new intraday high on that. Is Google in the green now? Yep, Google's in the green. So that's looking all positive for me. Looks like I wasn't the only one adding an AMC there. On the candle that I jumped in on, there's 266,000 shares. So I think somebody jumped in on that party with me, Ryan. At least somebody's trying to jump in on that party.
I mean, like you were saying, this is a big outsized move in the market.
Yeah, Marty's like, GME's continuing. I mean, it's crazy. Could be the dollar, says Jay. I mean, there's something that happened there, guys.
I don't see it.
Something happened.
Feds Waller
Only-
says if inflation consistently declines, there's no reason to insist that rates remain really high.
Oh,
Man.
that will do it for you. That will do it
That's
right
such like
there.
a nothing comment, though, Mitch. I'm like, you're
Ryan, that is
trading off
not a
that?
nothing comment, at least in
Oh,
my
dude,
eyes.
you're crazy. You're
Biggest
crazy.
biggest reason why is the number one thing that is scaring people is that inflation, that rates stay high. Waller is that bear, right? This is a dovish comment from a bear, right? Would you think this is dovish, or would you think
I
this
mean,
is
but
hawkish?
it's if Mitch, it's if this happens, if the temperature drops outside, Mitch, it's going to be colder.
Yeah,
Buy
but we know how
stocks.
that works, right, man? But the key there is that he's changing his tune. He's been very hawkish. He's been one of the ones that have said that we need higher restrictive rates.
Okay.
If he's now saying that we don't need rates this high, does he mean cut? Does he mean he's recommending a cut? And that right there will do it to you. That will push markets up, at least in my understanding of the headline there.
We'll see what happens. He's made several comments this morning. They're all in the pro news feed, by the way. Just going to shout it out there. They're all in the pro news feed.
Yeah, show us that, right? I mean, that's the important thing. I think it's really important to see it, right? You don't need to actually see the headlines right there, but like show them where they would find this. You'd look under the SPY, right?
Yeah.
You'd be able to find this.
So what I do, and I cover this a lot, what I do is I actually keep this workspace that you're seeing here.
Continuing to spike here now, 45.66.
That's just a squawk on the futures popping. So I keep three news feeds that do three different things. The one that I'm consulting here has here, let me mute that. I have the one of them filtered for SPY. This gives me all of the big news that's likely to affect the market. So if we take a look here, you can see Feds Waller. It's all of his comments here. The most recent one is the one I just read you. Fed's Governor Waller says if inflation consistently declines, no reason to insist rates remain, quote, really high. So all of those are in here. You can review all of the comments that he made. This is just the most recent one that we're attributing this move to.
It's something interesting, that's for certain. Don't miss it, team. This could shake up the market. I mean, we were waiting on some volume to come in. Did we see volume on that pop? Hell yeah, we saw volume on that pop. We went from a 1 minute candle where we were only seeing 59,000 shares. On that pop, we saw shares in 1 minute go to 418,000 shares. Big pop. And my phone just dropped, so give me a second. All right, guys, we'll see what happens here, but starting to get in the green there for Tesla as this starts to push, and that's exactly what I wanted to see. Now I want to see Tesla just rip. It has a catalyst that can help it here, of course, going into Thursday. So I thought that maybe some people would try to get in Tesla today like I am, looking for the Cybertruck run. Let's see if the Cybertruck can get me paid. Q's up there now to 390s. Are you still holding on the SQQQ, Ryan? Because
yep, I'm still in.
That's where it gets like I would be out on
my average. Just to be clear, my average is 16.18.
You're
not even
doing
down
10
50
times
cents
better than a lot of us, right? Because I would be in it and I'd be out right now, and I would have got hit again. What we talked about this morning, I would have got hit again on the SQQQ. Here I'm up over about 100 on Tesla. I'm looking for a push towards a 237 to take a little bit off here and just pay myself a little bit and then just keep the remainder on for the day. See if I can get another little pop.
I'm with 13 here. I'm just waiting for the comment.
Boom. Just took some off.
That takes the market down. VIX has no business being down here this low. I agree with this.
Nice $67 made there already on the 50 shares. Still have 75 shares of Tesla.
Nice job.
Decent amount. And look where my average is now. It's 235.32. So I've worked my way almost down to the low of the day. And I think that was important of going about it. And what? I think I did like 30 orders there in 5 share increments. So this has actually helped me. Trading like an algo sometimes really does help me. In this case, I feel like it did. And it's something that I'll be reviewing. And I just secured myself to pay myself, right? That's a big part of trading, right? Secure yourself some wins. Now on the day, we got 118. So half of yesterday's loss pretty much. Let's try to keep that going, keep pushing to the next level. biggest thing that I'd be watching now, Nvidia, right? Does Nvidia go red to green? If that can go back through 484s, yeah, I'll be like, yeah, man, this is kind of like a buy up opportunity. We'll see what happens. Right now, Nvidia still in the red, down about 0.98, 0.97. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and set a stop on this remaining Tesla to make sure that no matter what, if I do get a quick downturn, I'm not going to lose on the name. I still will risk some of those gains. I'm going to put it down about like 52. Of course, I made 67 already. So regardless, I'd be kind of like just a little bit green, but give him the chance for the big win.
Fed's Bowman favors hiking rates if inflation progress stalls. Quite possible Fed's policy rate will need to be at a higher level than before the pandemic to foster low, stable inflation.
There's your hawkish comment against the dovish comment that we got from Waller. Let's see if that actually changes tune the market. But I think that comment by Waller was definitely let's see how much in the headlines I can get into today, Ryan. That man wanted to show up in all the headlines with that comment.
Okay. So here's something else to keep in mind. All right. Looking at the SPY, this is ticker SPY. On average, SPY trades about 81 million shares a day. Yesterday, we traded about 43 million shares. We traded just over half of the average. Extremely illiquid. We're on pace to do the same thing here today. Another low volume day. The amplitude of this move intraday, I think, is being exacerbated by the low liquidity environment that we're in. I'm going to stick to that. Okay. I'm going to stick to that. Let's see where we finish here today. We're already what, for about 40 cents off the lows. Let's see if this actually holds and takes another leg, or if we retrace even more of this move. I got to think that the low volume environment that we're in is playing into why the SPY is moving this much on some of these comments. Just my 2 cents. Could be wrong. Just saying.
Can I get an AMC pop, man? Come on. Come on, AMC. What you got for me? GME's up to 1284. What a pop. What a day for Dennis Dick's tweet there, man. That's how it goes sometimes, man. That's why I wouldn't short these names either. Like shorting GME and AMC, that was when it was up at like hundreds. It's not to be thinking about it now, right? It's just a way too difficult trade to kind of go short on those names. Even though GME looks interesting right now, but hey, I'm playing the upside, especially on a day where we're getting pops. Getting a little bit of
13.
a pullback here.
13, I'm going to read this out loud real quick. Right now, I'm watching for the SPY to run to 456. Should encounter significant resistance there. We take a look here, 456. If we've already got the chart up, 456 is right here. Let me reset this and take a look at it a little longer time frame here, 13. 456 is going to be this level that we've really struggled to get over these past few days here. If we look at it at the daily, that should be pretty firm as well. 456, got it right in here. So you're looking for another rejection at the top end of that range, 13. That's what it sounds like.
All right, guys, I'm going to go start trading some other names because I just see opportunity, and I'm going to look at ICCM.
Wow.
So, I want to get this at 118 here on a wick down and then risk off of 108. So if I can get a 10-cent risk here, it won't be too bad for a move back up through the 140s, which would be like a 22-cent gain. Let's see what happens here. Just keeping a close eye on this ICCM.
I don't understand this comment, but it made me chuckle inside and outside, so I'm going to read it here for the group. People will be dressing up as cats for SantaCon. GME might go viral around Christmas time. So just the thought of people dressing up as cats is one aspect of it. Dressing up as a cat and attending SantaCon is another aspect of it. And somehow this having an effect on GME around Christmas time is yet a third aspect of that. I'll be honest, I don't understand the workings of any of that.
Bruh. bruh. What can I say, man? What can I say? There's all types of traders out there.
No, but it's not a criticism of him. I'm learning things. 13, you hit it right on. There's a SantaCon. Until about 7.5 seconds ago, I didn't know that SantaCon existed. And furthermore, I didn't understand why people attended it dressed as a cat.
All right, guys, looking for this ICCM now to make a move, right? Let's see if we get that move. I bet. What can I say, dude? What can I say, man?
This is what I can say. This is what I can say. Our community is the greatest thing on earth. That's it. That's it. That's the statement.
Oh man, we'll see. We'll see, guys, if this really starts to move. But it looks like we're getting a little bit of some stonk action today, guys. Look at Tesla go. I don't even want to look at it anymore, guys. I don't even want to look at Tesla. It's doing so well. Do you ever have positions like that? That's how I feel right now on Tesla. I'm like, just keep going, man. Just keep going. Do it. Do it.
Yeah. So, yeah, I do. Sometimes I force myself to go away from the computer. Like I have to go to the washroom or I go get a drink from the fridge or something.
Yeah, it's how it goes sometimes.
I feel, but I mean, and you've already paid yourself in this trade, right? So you've already booked some of those gains.
I had to. I had to. Like,
so that's just discipline right there. I mean, I like it.
Now I'm in that what I call the position of strength, where if the market keeps going in my favor today, where the Qs just stay above, let's say, the VWAP for the rest of the day, I can hang on to Tesla. And so that's the way I'll view it, right? If the Qs can stay above their VWAP, I'm just going to continue to hold on that.
That's what I was just. So basically, if the Qs break VWAP, you're going to cut that position.
Yes, that would tell me that this was maybe a fake out to the upside capitulation, right? So there's two ways to look at this. Is this capitulation to the upside, or is this a new breakout to the upside? Things that you need to think about. And I always like to present both sides, right? Because the truth is, there's always going to be two sides of the perspective that you can find out in the market. All right, GME to and through 13. Did it just get through there? I need to see this. Yeah, it did. Oh man, I guess it's just
it's all fake news. It's phony stuff. It didn't happen. You are fake news.
I'll be honest. Those are some of the best sound drops. They you can fit those in some of the greatest spots.
Yeah, it definitely is. But I'm sure some traders are out there thinking,
I got a bad feeling about this.
Yep, I got a bad feeling about this. First time GM me.
You know what tonight could use Home Alone. I hope Home Alone is on TV. I'm gonna go check when we get off the show here. Sorry for that random comment.
I can't blame you, man. Just there's always a way to watch it. If you guys ever need ways to watch things, you guys, I'm the man. The man. I'll find out for you. There's always a free trial somewhere, right? Let's see what else is going on in the market with this move. Can we continue to hold on here? And you know what? It's not December 1st, but get ready, guys, because we're going to do a little bit of a polling action of the best movies to watch in the holiday times. They don't need to be Christmas movies. They just need to be winter related. So let me know, guys. See what happens there. ICCM starting to move now to 128. Can I get the cup and handle here, guys?
If this works out for you, I'm gonna be astonished. SQQQ, by the way, back to VWAP. Lol.
We'll see what happens. Can I get the cup and handle, man?
Sweet buddy.
Can I get the handle now, guys? Can it just keep going and just break above the highs of the 140, go into the 150 area? I'll take majority off there just to take the trade, right? Like, yeah, this isn't going to be the biggest return, but I needed to take the trade. Sometimes you need to do a little bit of a feeler. This is how I saw it. It gave me the exact look I was looking for. I take the shot. Look at the bid support, 78,000 at 126.
So David, I owed you a response real quick. Earlier you said we want the Bears to lose. And like factually, you're right. So Mitch, I'm only going to do this for a minute. I know we have to get off here.
You're
I'll
good,
make
my
this
friend.
very, very quick.
You're good.
Actually, I know that you're right. The more that we lose, the better our draft pick's going to be. We already have Carolinas. We want to have 2 up top. Here's my dilemma. I want to feel good about the quarterback by the end of this year, and I have more questions than answers, and that's what really shakes me to my core. The coaching staff here belongs working at McDonald's. They do not belong as NFL head coaches. They're absolute garbage. Chicago has had a string of bad coaches. This is the worst. Okay, this guy is the worst. They're unable to develop Justin Fields. Maybe he does have something. He is definitely going to have a market if they do draft Caleb Williams #1. The big problem for me is that Marvin Harrison Jr. might be the best wide receiver I've ever seen in my 40 years of being alive play college football. He is so good, and he dominates everybody. He is a generational talent. We're talking like Calvin Johnson type talent here, okay? And he's the only player in this draft that I feel like is a lock. I can't miss. And I'm just not sure the Bears are going to draft him. Mitch, I have to take this real quick.
When's the last time a wide receiver went 1? That's something else. I'll let Ryan hop out of here. Don't worry about that, guys. Ryan's hopping out. He has a quick call that he has to take care of. But I'm here to wrap up the day, guys. It's 10:58. I'm going to go ahead and just focus on this AMC trade. I'm 1,000 shares deep in this one. Smash the like for today, guys. Can't go wrong with the trading action today. It's been very nice. Let's just say very nice. So we'll see what happens, guys. It's been a great day. Like always, you guys can check out Trade the Pool. If you guys are looking to go short, long, any of these names, I want to give you guys the ability to do so, right? You guys see the Trade the Pool right at the top. I hope you guys got that Black Friday sale because that's gone, but I did see some of you guys take advantage of it. So right here, I'll throw up the link like always. Check out Trade the Pool, guys, up to 260,000 in buying power. Having a hell of a day there in Tesla today. Going to continue to watch the market, try to work. Will GME continue riding higher? It's up to 1301. Will this get halted today? Who knows? But I'll tell you what, I'm playing the AMC game here just to try to make a little bit off of this move. We'll find out what happens. I'm up about 35, probably going to take a little bit of the gains in just a second here. Tesla continuing to work, now up about 140 on that. Going to watch to see if this could get all the way back to the intraday highs. I'll be taking a majority of off there and then look for this to continue to working on Tesla, the Tesla Dragon, slaying the dragon today. That's what it's all about. Sometimes we are going to slay the dragon. Today, Elon, I'm with you. I'm pushing for the Cybertruck. Let's see what happens. This is that Cybertruck type of play. And we're always here for you guys, showing you guys processed approach. It's not about copycat trading. It's about giving you guys the education to learn from us, learn from our mistakes, our strengths, and of course, have a good time, right? I hope that you guys had a great time today. Like always, guys, smash the like. We're going to keep pushing in here and we'll find out what happens on these stocks. But coming up next, you guys will have some Benzinga live action coming to you guys. So don't go anywhere. We always got a lot more for you guys. Smash that like button if you guys enjoyed today's show. Different conversations. And we're always going to be here battling with you guys. And just for my man, Ryan, I know he's going to miss this, but might as well do a little bit of some Home Alone action here. And you guys smash the like for a little Home Alone Mitch style.
Guys give up?
Merry Christmas, you filth.